Hello one and all! This is my review and reaction to That Time I Reincarnated Slime, Season 3, Episode 19, and we're kicking things off with a giant big party. A very fancy buffet where everyone can come and just basically, pick on the food, talk, socialize, and get ready for the actual festival which starts tomorrow! Huzzah! And in the light novel, Rimuru does mention these nobles, they brought their wives and children with them. That's a great sign. That means they trust me not to murder their wives and children. Aw, they really do care. Such a low bar, but again, he is a god-dang demon lord ruling over a city of monsters. People have every right to be a little bit nervous around him. And just, last episode we talked about how the King of Blummin, even despite all those giant, massive red flags, still saw him and went, hey, that slime, I bet he'd make a great business partner. And put all his faith, all of his trust, literally bet his entire nation on that slime. Such an absolutely insane move, but it is about to pay off more than he could ever imagine. So good for him. But alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Alright, this is interesting. There's a whole Tatsumi mat section that's cut off from everyone else. And not a lot of people are using it because they aren't really used to actually, taking their shoes off at a formal party. That's insane. Who would ever do that? But here we see that Gazelle did it and sat next to Yom, which is huge for Yom's reputation. It's basically saying to the entire world, hey, this new king who was just crowned last week, he has my trust, he has my faith, he is a friend of mine, and someone I can speak to on, an uneven playing field. So good for Yom right there. And, the King of oh god. Is that a beer stash on his mustache? Like I said, love this man. Absolutely love this man. And not just because his hair kind of looks like my hat. Yeah, Rimuru, really not great at giving speeches. Yeah, he literally says, I was never one for long speeches. And this is it's a formal event. It's more of an informal speech, just welcoming everyone. Not like the big speech you'll have to give to, kick off the festival. Alright, though even though it's a pretty short speech, I think Gazelle seems pretty happy with it. I mean, let's not forget his first speech. I think he gave Rimuru like a 0 out of 10 or like a 1 out of 10. Because he just sounded so weak while giving it. And he wasn't wrong. The King of Falmus heard of that speech, and was like, that's a weak slime. Let's kill him! Kanpai! Eve of the festival. So this episode's literally just gonna be this party, this dinner. Nothing too ground shaking, but definitely some really good moments. I'm very much hoping they, animate Hakuro well with what he's about to do. Oh! Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, good Lord above! Holy Mother of God. Okay, so yeah, in light novel, everyone's like, oh, I'm so scared of that speared tuna. I'm like, come on, it's just a fish. I have to double check the illustration, but I definitely don't think it looked this overwhelmingly terrifying. God above. Oh god, even Gazelle is just terrified of this. Well, she just happy smile in the background. Good for her. Oh, Momiji and her father. Oh, I love that so much. What the freak? Okay, yes, this is everything I wanted. They actually threw the freaking fish. Yeah, no wonder this is going to cause some widespread panic. How is everyone not fleeing from this room? Okay, I was hoping to see a bit more of him slicing and dicing. I was hoping for, a bit more effort in that animation, but still. Oh, okay, well, there's where the art budget went for this episode. Jesus God above. Yes, my man just sashimi'd an entire 13-foot long A-rank monster in the blink of an eye. Yeah, no surprise. Everyone's terrified. Everyone's absolutely terrified of all of that. The swordplay, the giant monster, the fact it's an A-rank monster. I mean, how's that even going to taste? The fact that it's not cooked. There's a lot there to be concerned about. Also, I did want to rewind to show that Miji is so proud of her father. There's an illustration in the light novel, one of my favorite illustrations of her just, just looking at him in awe after he does this. Yeah, no sushi, so everyone's a little bit off-put by this. Oh, come on, man. You've had sushi before. You've had some of Tempest's dishes before. Oh, Momiji, I love her. I will say, that is some very good look. I mean, I don't like sushi, but they clearly put a lot of effort into drawing that to make it look appealing. That said, I've never actually had sushi, so I can't really say I don't like sushi. I'm just not really a fish guy. I used to like tuna fish as a kid, but I don't know, maybe I should try fish again. God above, I hope my mother isn't watching this video, because she'll try to get me to have fish. God, he really does seem like a little girl sometimes. Yeah, actually in the light novel, literally says is the best either sushi he's ever had or the best food he's ever had in general. I think it might be the best food in general, which does make Shuna just a little bit jealous. Yeah, really. Hakuro is like, well, nobody's eating this, but that just means I get to have all of it myself when I'm done with this party. Yay! I mean, it is really, really good fish, so he's excited. God, Hinata looks beautiful. Like, seriously, she looks absolutely freaking amazing. Also, if I remember correctly in the light novel, Rimuru says, "What are you, a child?" before even realizing it was Hinata. As soon as he heard her say, "No wasabi, please," his immediate response is, "What are you, a child?" "Oh, hi, Hinata!" Yeah, Hinata can be very, very immature sometimes. Yes, she's actually complaining about the variety of tuna, about the variety of the sushi, something I don't think she's actually had since coming to this world. In fact, I know she hasn't, since this world doesn't actually have rice. Rimuru had to not genetically modify a plant to turn it into edible rice. That's insane. Yep, that's her response right there. She looks like she's literally in heaven. It ticks me off, but I respect you for this. I mean, again, that's a big thing with Hinata. She and a lot of the other worlders struggle so much just to get by on a daily basis. Whereas Rimuru's like, you know what? I'm going to import fish from the ocean, which is hundreds or thousands of miles away. That shouldn't actually be possible, but Rimuru put in the time and effort to do it just because he wanted to taste good food. God, that's insane. Ooh, Yuki, you look very good in a suit. And seriously, I'm not a kid, so I'll have mine with wasabi. you are genuinely picking a fight with Hinata right here. The strongest human woman maybe in the world, at least in the West. Oh god above, you actually made her blush. You actually really did tick her off right there. Oh, that's beautiful. And that's a big thing. You can't actually teleport food in this world because, you know, it exposes it to a bunch of magicules and it basically turns it into poison. I mean, I think Hinata could actually still eat it, but the taste would be very, very wrong. And meanwhile, just trying to transport through the Free Guild is just too much. I mean, the ocean to the north has giant, horrifying monsters, like the spirit tuna, whereas the ocean to the south is too far away, so they basically need to, you know, hire a bunch of people to carry the wagons, get a bunch of ice, or a personal ice mage to do the back and forth, and the Free Guild just, you know, they couldn't do it. I mean, I'm sure Hinata probably could have paid, like, a small fortune to make it happen, but, yeah, they just weren't willing to do it. Yeah, that's the freaking fish they're eating right now, the spear tuna. God above. Yeah, really, they're really emphasizing, like, yeah, in Tempest, there are foods you can get nowhere else in the world, or at the very least, can't get without traveling to the other side of the continent, and it's all right here. So come, bring your families, bring your friends, eat this super exclusive food only found in Tempest. Always plotting, always conniving, I love it. Yeah, really. Now they're manning up. Now they're like, oh, well, if, you know, Hinata, the savior, the greatest, strongest human in the world, and Yuki, the leader of the Free Guild, are loving this food so much, you know, we're gonna try it. Yeah, at this point, everyone else is like, okay, if they're saying this is like the most delicious food in the world, I have to try it. Me too, me too, me too, me too! Of course, it also means Hakura won't be able to have a whole spirit tuna to himself after work, after he's done, you know, serving everyone else. But, you know, don't worry, Rimuru actually has a second spirit tuna in reserve that he can give him just as, you know, a thank you present for cooking up this amazing meal for him. Oh, also, important to mention, Rimuru actually caught this spirit tuna himself while on a fishing trip with Gabta. On a fishing trip with Gabta. I'm not sure if that was a side story in another volume or something, but he keeps mentioning this fishing trip. That might have been in like one of the 0.5 volumes. Because this is volume 9. There's a volume 8.5, which is a bunch of short stories, but it wasn't translated into English. I found a translation online, but I need to double check that. Anyway. Yeah. Holy God above. Okay, Rimuru, you might have an issue with your, you know, surveillance network if something this massive got this close without you actually noticing. I'm pretty sure the light novel said it landed just outside of town, but if it's actually over the city itself, that's a big problem and something, you know, Zoe should have noticed a long time ago. Holy Mother of God above. Holy, holy Mother of God above. Okay, I must admit I wasn't expecting it to look this goddamn majestic. So this is basically a blimp that's being lifted by a dragon. Okay. God, that's a massive dragon. Again, Rimuru, you should have sensed this thing. That has to be like an A or S rank monster right there. Definitely gonna go with S rank. Yeah, so everybody is freaking the freak. Wait, what the freak? Okay, let me do the rant first, then I'll talk about that. Everybody here is freaking the freak out because the Empress of Thalion herself just showed up. A woman who has not been seen outside of her own nation in literal decades. This is quite literally the only chance almost anyone in this room will ever have to actually even see her, let alone talk to her. Even though these people are kings and nobles and all of that, that is how powerful and rare and just hard to come by she actually freaking is. So at this point, literally every noble who isn't in attendance is being told by their, friends, whatever, hey, get to the dining hall right freaking now. You'll never guess who showed up. Oh, I love it. But also, other thing I want to mention right here, these guys over here, that would be Benimaru's brother and his kind of sort of girlfriend from the Reincarnated as a Slime movie. That is a real blink and you miss it moment right there. And of course, Rimuru doesn't actually understand why it's such a big deal that someone, we invited actually showed up. Well, okay, technically they didn't really invite her. They invited, the Archduke Errol, I think Errol was his name. They invited Errol, and, she just kind of took the invitation and came along with him. Because of course she did. Yeah, that's a really big freaking deal right here. This is a nation as strong as Dwargon, which is already recognized as an incredibly powerful nation, but who have managed to obtain that power while being fully isolated, while getting help from nobody. Also, I think this might be the first time we've ever actually seen the symbol of the Council of the West. I don't recall that ever popping up before. Interesting. Yeah, what he said, she can declare herself empress. She was the one who founded this nation over 2,000 years ago. She is a very, very old elf, and one who wields incredible authority. So much so that even Gazelle is quite literally terrified of her. The slyest old fox you'll ever see. Yeah, Gazelle, that's not something you actually want to say with an earshot of her. Also, her guards, they are all dressed in legendary class equipment, the same stuff that Hinata freaking uses. Oh, such a gentle and simple smile from such a terrifying woman. Yeah, like I said, she has a natural charm effect, which is incredibly powerful. Yeah, it wasn't even like an attack. It wasn't even something that she was trying to do intentionally. It was just her heroic aura leaking out. It basically makes those who are weaker than her subservient to her. And it actually freaking affected Rimuru. Not for long, just for like a brief second, but still, it affected someone with an ultimate skill. That's terrifying. Yeah, that's the real Elle right there. More, informal, more relaxed, more chill, unless you talk about her age. The, I am the Empress of Thalion routine she just did when she introduced herself is more of an act she plays that she can better fit the role of Empress. This is the real her right here. And she has a lot she wants to discuss with Rimuru. I mean, let's not forget, this woman is over 2,000 years old, and she knows a lot of things, and she's seen Rimuru do a lot of things that, fully and completely defy common sense. I really do love her, seriously. Yeah, like I said, don't call her an old hag, man. Terrifying. Utterly terrifying. Ooh, interesting. I don't think Molly's supposed to be here right now. Okay, this conversation should have been happening later that night in a chapter called Late Night Meeting. So, not sure why they're bringing it up right now. Yeah, that's concerning. I mean, Molly has, a memory for faces. He knows pretty much everybody in the West. Every major merchant, every major tradesperson, all of that. And now he's realizing, hey, there are a lot of people here who I don't recognize. And that is concerning. Very, very concerning. Yeah, that's not a giant, massive red flag right there. Him mentioning a problem, then going like, oh, I'm sure it's no big deal. Not a giant, massive red flag. I really should get a red flag, a little red flag I can wave around every time a massive red flag shows up. Yeah. Now it's the next big name that's going to terrify literally everybody in the room. Yeah, for the record, they're late because Malim, only showed back up like the day before they were supposed to leave, and then it took a while for her to get a proper dress made. Yeah, she did. In fact, Rimuru even says, Malim's painted up all pretty tonight. A weird way of describing her, but, yeah, Gazelle's a little off-put by, the freaking Demon Lord showing up. Aww. Oh, the Demon Lords. I mean, technically it's only one, but yeah, Malim is so precious, though. She looks so cute in that dress. And Carry-On, gotta say, Carry-On, he does look good in that suit. Though he weirdly enough gives me vampire vibes. And as for Frey, yeah, drop-dead gorgeous, without a doubt. Oh, those are the twin wings, Frey's, two subordinates. Though it does say in the light novel there are actually twins. I guess their faces do look alike, but their hair is vastly different. Interesting. And the Biscuiteers. Ooh, I love the traditional Japanese dress on her. Shows trying to marry Benimaru, marry into Tempest, and maybe she's like, this is the design of this nation, therefore if I wear this, I'll catch his eye more. What's his name? Phobios, he looks good. It's more like a casual suit. I like that. Tiger Girl, Sufia. I don't know. I just don't feel like that dress really suits her all that well. And of course, the Dragon Faithful are just wearing their Dragon Faithful outfits. I mean, what else would they be wearing to a formal event like this? Oh! Yes, that would be Maribel the Creedy. Light Novel did mention she was here, but that is just a terrifying time to, put her in. Though it does make sense. Everyone here is looking to the arrival of, 3 Demon Lord class people, and she's just fully focused on satisfying her own greed, her own hunger. What a terrifying, terrifying little girl. And because she is a child like Hinata, she asks for no wasabi. Yeah, Midray, he is not looking happy right now, seriously. Honestly though, I think Midray would like the sushi, now I think about it. There's gonna be this whole long speech by Shuna, whatever, but to, literally just give Midray sushi, that's pretty much as natural as it gets. I think he'd be very happy with that. Lie. A very, very bad lie that she saw right through. Even Malim doesn't believe that she'd actually believe that lie. I mean, technically those floors of the dungeon were her territory, since Rimuru let her design them, so not a complete lie. I mean, how much fitting is required for Malim's outfit? She's basically wearing a sundress that feels pretty loose and flowy to me. I mean, it's not like Rimuru's suit where it needs to be all measured out perfectly. Oh, Rimuru, you're about to step in it in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, right, God above. Even Benimaru realized, no, don't do that, don't say that, whatever you do, don't do that. I remember his mind, he's like, okay, well, you people are harpies, you're part bird, so do you have a thing against eating birds? But... yeah. No. Disgust. Absolute disgust on the one twin's face. Seriously. Cock-a-doodle-doo! God above, what sound effect? Oh my god, I love that sound effect. This is priceless right here. And carry on. Just gotta make it worse. You just gotta make it worse. Though, on the bright side, you're kind of drawing a lot of attention to yourself away from Rimuru, so thank you, I guess? Even Malim, even the most terrifying demon lord, second most terrifying demon lord in the world, is like, yeah, I would never say something that insulting to Frey. Yeah, right there. That's a huge sign, like, okay, this dude, he's respectful, he's polite, he's everything, a proper ruler should be. He even lowered his head to them, which, is something a ruler maybe shouldn't do, but he's being genuine in his apology right here, and that's rather shocking for all of them. Especially these two, like, seriously, they never saw that coming. Yeah, so it might seem, like, insane to test a demon lord, especially one so much stronger than you, but there was a point to it. Basically, it's like, okay, Malim is growing. She's doing so much better than she's been for the last, 1,000, 2,000 freaking years. And I think that's because of you. And if you are actually a good role model for her, then I'm fine with you spending more time with her. But if you're the kind of person who would just, double down and keep insulting me, then you're not a good role model. Then I don't want Malim spending any more time with you. She's basically acting like a concerned mother, making sure her child's friend is a good role model. And I love that so much. Aww. Yeah, so he just passed a test. Good for him. Carry on, meanwhile, very much failed that test. Oh, Carry On's gonna die. Carry On's gonna die. Yeah, Phobio is the only one slightly concerned for his master. The other two are like, yeah, you deserve this. You insulted a woman, you absolutely deserve this, you idiot. Yeah, so while it might seem like, she's just kind of squeezing him and he is, Demon Lord class, her grip is actually a unique skill that fully negates other skills. So he has no resistances, no regeneration, no nothing. He's like a regular person having their skull crushed right now. Yeah, so just a huge lesson for Malim right here. God, I love it. Yep, just being dragged away. No one's bothering to try and save him. Because they are literally all that scared of Frey. Yeah, it is actually said that Malim and Shuna are really rather good friends, so... I just love that, seriously. They're so sweet together. Yeah, this is another test for Rimuru. I mean, not an intentional test. I mean, Midray isn't trying to see what kind of character he has, but still, the way Rimuru handles this is able to really impress everyone around him, and overall, like, this entire pre-festival party is a huge hit. Yeah, so even though they're all about, like, you know, eating food in its natural form, at the very least, they do grill their meats. But they just grill it. They don't put salt or pepper or anything on it. They just eat it just, like, grilled. That's it. And as vegetables, I don't even think they grill them. They just eat them freaking raw. Mysterious liquid. I mean, it's gravy or sauce or whatever. Oh, that's adorable. Look at that ice cream. It has a freaking slime on it. Oh my god. You know, there's something a bit off that, like, a lot of the food in Tempest is slimed themed. Because it is like, oh, they're eating Rimuru, but at the same time, I would love to go to, like, one of those pop-up cafes they have in Japan sometimes with a bunch of, you know, slime themed food. That'd be so cool. Oh, Momiji, Benimaru, and Albus. That's a very interesting combination right there of the three of them. Yeah, I'm honestly just trying to ignore his speech right now because it is so painful. I'm just literally paying attention to whatever is going on in the background instead. God above, he's angry. This isn't even him being mad. This is him literally throwing a temper tantrum and steaming like a tea kettle. I didn't know anybody could be this stubborn. He is literally steaming. Yeah, he's actually pretty decent. Also important to mention that, you know, Hermes is cool with eating, you know, cooked food because he did actually travel across the entire West on his, you know, journey of self-discovery or whatever. So he's actually, you know, tasted food and realized, oh, this is better than eating raw vegetables. Awesome! Yeah, now it's Shuna's turn, and even Rimuru is terrified in this moment. God, I love her. Yeah, that is a terrifying smile right there. An absolutely terrifying smile. Yeah, Malim, just like you should never take off Ray, you should never tick off Shuna. Yeah, this is terrifying. I mean, she's actually making this man sweat. She's actually making this man feel fear. And it's important to mention that this man is roughly as strong as Benimaru and can actually fight against Malim without dying. And yet Shuna, who is arguably the weakest of Rimuru's, you know, Kaiji, is pushing him back just with her aura. God, she's a terrifying woman. Yeah, so she's about to go on this long rant about how the food is a metaphor for bringing all the nations together, and Rimuru wanted that to be, like, emphasized through the meal, blah, blah, blah. No, absolutely not. Rimuru's just like, hey, let's have a buffet so they can try a little bit of everything and find out what they like, considering this, a lot of this is all brand new food to them. But also just really brings up, like, you know, I think it was last episode, everyone's, like, screaming, like, oh, Masayuki sucks, his people are awful, like, he doesn't do anything, his skills do it, and yet everyone, like, keeps praising him and saying he's awesome and all this, and it's like, yeah, you're describing Rimuru right there. I mean, seriously, how is this any different from Masayuki's heroic skills, where everything he does is viewed in, like, this heroic, awesome light? Rimru's like, let's have a buffet, and then Shuna's about to do this whole, like, 5-minute rant about how it's a metaphor for bringing people together and cooperation and all of that. God, I love it. Yes, she is literally force-feeding this man, again, who is the equivalent of a demon lord. God, I love Shuna so much. Also, that looks like some really good soup right there. Now I want to have some soup. Interesting. Oh god, I was gonna joke before that Hinata had a foodgasm when she tried the sushi. No, this is a foodgasm right here. And, you know, totally acceptable, totally understandable, considering the fact that this man has eaten nothing but raw vegetables for the decades he's been alive, and he just now ate a soup made by some of the best chefs in the entire world. Of course he'd react this way. That's the fervent hope contained in this soup. No, it absolutely is not, but Rimuru is willing to go with it, and Shion is so proud of him for thinking of it, even though he didn't actually think of it. Yeah, didn't know that. No idea whatsoever. A deep religious revelation over food. God, I love this scene so much. Again, how is this all better than the first half of this season? Like, seriously. This is just a meal, and yet it's better than most of what we got in the first half. What the freak? Oh, again, right there in the background. Benimaru's brother from the movie. That's such an interesting cameo. Oh yeah, I thought that was gonna be like another metaphor for, you know, oh, we have to, you know, make sure we do this properly. No, she was just bashing Shion's cooking. Seriously, and Shion has no idea why. Oh my god. She fully missed the meaning right there. Beautiful. Yeah, now he's like, oh my god, I've shamed my god. I've forced her to not enjoy this delicious, great food because of my own stubbornness. How could I have done this? Oh, I love the scene. I'm so glad they kept this right here. Yeah, because, I mean, Shuna is the weakest of Rimuru's, like, main posse, but still, she is incredible in her own right. Not just with her fierce determination, her just insane, terrifying aura, but in the way she's able to make up this insane metaphor and basically win over everybody in the room to Rimuru's side. Aww. In fact, in the light novel, Shuna hears that and she actually blushes a little bit. It's such a sweet moment. Okay, interesting. Alright, so you're definitely skipping the late night meeting I talked about before, which, yes, we did see that with Molly's conversation with Rimuru, but there was a whole second part of that meeting about setting up for the tournament that we didn't see yet. I guess we're probably gonna, you know, wait till we actually get to the tournament and then see that as a flashback. That would make sense. I mean, ending right here with Rimuru's speech is probably the better move, honestly. Aww, it's all the kids. Also, important to mention that at this point, they don't actually know that Rimuru is the leader of this nation. Seriously, he finishes the speech and they're like, hey, why didn't you tell us you were the ruler of this nation? Which, like, dude, how do you not know that? Oh, he's giving the speech in slime form with a fake mustache. Of course he is. Of freaking course he is. Still not good at giving speeches. Still not good at giving speeches. Yeah, here we go. That was the big thing with his first speech. Then, you know, the Gazelle Ray, it's like, oh no, you were too nice, you were too kind, people are just gonna walk all over you. But now he's like, yeah, no, I've learned my lesson after the whole Falmus incident, so if you try to push us around, if you are cruel or mean or try to pick a fight with us, you're gonna pay for it. Yeah, we're not gonna show you any. Oh, that you know scared them a little bit. Well, the humans at least. The monsters are like, yeah, that's right. Love that difference. Rimuru evolved into Demon Lord Rimuru. Okay, is that them just now realizing in this moment that the slime that they were listening to was in fact their Rimuru, who was the king? What the freak? I mean, I get the teacher, she was certainly not in the know, but the students were aware he was a slime, and they saw a slime giving a speech and with his voice and didn't realize it was him. I mean, Chloe seems to have, but the rest of them fully shocked. Also, I do feel bad for this teacher, seriously. She's found out that her the guy that had the job before her, and the guy that invited her to this whole festival was a freaking demon lord. Oh, I love that. Woo! And daytime fireworks. That seems like a bit of a waste, but alright. Also, I just want to say, there's something I really do love about human Rimuru wearing a cape and crown. That's just such a refined look for him. That's so cool. And again, just so in shock, so utterly in shock that Rimuru, like I said, they don't actually know that Rimuru was the leader of this nation, but at the same time, like, gave a whole speech as a slime, and they knew he was a slime. What the freak? Alright, Founders Festival. That's gonna be fun. There's a bunch of booths, a bunch of exhibits, the tournaments, all of that we're gonna get to see and have fun with. Can't wait. Absolutely freaking can't wait for that. Oh, that'll be amazing. Alright, so thoughts on this episode? I thought they did a really good job. I do wish they'd animated the sushi cutting scene a bit more. I mean, seriously. That was just like 3 slashes and then, hey, it's sushi. They could have done something really cool with that, but I guess the fish itself did look really good, really like that. Then Elmesia showed up, the Supreme Empress of Thalion, and almost brainwashed Rimuru. Oh, this is a truly, truly terrifying woman right here. Molly's concerned about the bunch of people he doesn't recognize involved in all of this, which, yeah, like I said, big red flag. And again, I need to get myself a big red flag. God. Oh, God, I love Frey so much. I mean, again, you know, you could certainly argue, like, oh, where should they get off testing Rimuru? But, you know, what he said was certainly insulting to her. Everyone recognized it other than him. Well, even he recognized it after he said it. So an apology right then and there was absolutely the right move to make, even if Frey is someone who is under him, beneath him. And finally, Midray had his whole rant, and then Shuna gave an entire lecture about how the meal was actually a metaphor for getting along with other nations and working together for a better future, which... fantastic. Absolutely freaking fantastic. Alright, this was a fun episode. Like I said, I do think this is actually better than... I think we can all agree this is better than the first half of the season. Even if this was arguably just a meeting, it was a fun meeting. It was, you know, them negotiating with people, Hinata getting dunked on for not liking wasabi, meeting new faces. It was a great. I really did enjoy it, but please think down below. What do you think of the giant spear tuna sushi? Would you have eaten it? Do you like sushi in general? Should I try sushi? I don't know. And what do you think is happening next with the big festival? What they have planned? What are the events? What's going on with that? Why did Rimuru's students apparently not know that he was the slime who was the leader of the nation after he had spent like the last 3 minutes giving a speech as a slime? That's so weird to me. But please let me know what you think about all this down below. And until next time, peace!